Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to Fallen London. Today we are going to be having a look at July's exceptional story we absolutely meant to go to sea. Now, as always at the start of a new exceptional story, I will tell you that there are spoilers ahead. You really should play these for yourself. Support Failbetter, get an exceptional friendship. Not only do you get access to these stories, you get access to the House of Chimes and an expanded opportunity deck and candles and various other little bits and pieces. But without further ado, let's start right now, because I'm excited about this one because it involves boats and urchins. This is going to be great. A necessary Z-trip. You are standing at the prow of the ship, looking out across the water. The wash rushes loudly as the boat pushes its way forward. A nearby lightship alleviates the gloom, the calm water beside it gleaming like a mirror. It is several hours before you'll reach your destination. But why aren't you at home, in the safety of your lodgings? Why are you on this ship at all? I've got a few options for relaxation. London has been stultifying of late. A quiet trip on the Mutton Island steamer was exactly what you needed to get away from it all. Or we can be on business. Tedious financial obligations brought you to one of London's islands. The work concluded, you finally return home. Or a romantic assignation. You suggested an evening a little different from the last. It was somewhere away from it all, truly private. You both made the most of it. I think I'm going to go with for relaxation. The ship churns its way forward, rising and falling as it sails. As it lifts, you catch a glimpse of something dark in the water, off the port side. The boat falls. It's gone. The swell lifts you again, and there, a little island. Someone is standing on it. Is someone trying to wave down your ship? Binoculars are hanging on the outside of the captain's cabin. With them, you can make out the tiny island and its inhabitants. There are 3 children, all gesticulating at your ship. One has their jacket on a stick and is waving it over their head to and fro. They seem desperate to be noticed. They must need help. The captain peers at the island. We're not stopping. What? Why would children be out here? They're drowny spawn, the captain grimaces. They might look like they're wearing cute little straw hats and boat shoes, but they'll probably have your throat out as soon as look at you. Sailors and their superstitions. The children won't survive long on that rapidly dwindling island. There is no other ship within sight. You have to help. They're not your children, are they? What do you care? Damn it. 3 options. It's the moral thing to do. You cannot abandon another to the waves. And these are children. You simply have to help. Or we can do it for the reward. Of course, there's no guarantee of one. But there's more than likely a grieving parent with funds to compensate the return of their beloved offspring. You wouldn't want to miss the opportunity. Or for the acclaim. When London hears of your noble deed, you're bound to be fated appropriately. Especially so if the children are particularly winsome or otherwise endearing. Ooh, I kind of want to pick one of the bottom ones just because I think it's funnier. Let's go with for the acclaim. I need fame. The captain shakes his head ominously. I can tell you won't see sense. He orders the ship to turn toward the rock. They're your responsibility, and if they cause any trouble, he shakes his head. Soon you can make out the children more clearly, jumping up and down on a flat outcropping of rock. They are young. The oldest can't be more than 10 or 11. All 3 have bright shocks of red hair. They must be siblings. The captain drops a ladder for you to climb down, forcing you to wade through the water to reach the children. Hello, says the tallest. Would you like a picnic? A picnic? Now? You've got time, since you're stopping. The boy's not wrong. The captain has pulled up the ladder. He even salutes you as the ship pulls away. What a bastard. We've been abandoned on an island. Well, there goes my fame. Well, let's meet our new companions. The offer of a picnic is not entirely absurd. The children have a small pile of sandwiches laid out on a tea towel. Beside them are a couple of corked bottles. The smallest of the children offers one to you. We don't have any wine, but we've got this. We're saying it's rum, but it's actually ginger beer. The three children sit down, cross-legged, beside the food and look up at you, clearly expecting something. They show remarkable savoir considering their situation. Or perhaps they just don't understand the danger they are in. So we can ask about their situation. Why are they on a lonely rock in the middle of the sea? And how did they get here? I am going to confuse all of these voices for these children. We sailed here, the tallest child. No, we didn't. The boat doesn't have a sail. The smallest child, very patiently. That doesn't matter. It's called sailing, even if it has an engine. The tallest child again. Are you sure? The middle child gurns horribly, bored of his siblings back and forth. The tallest child takes a deep breath, an impression of an adult attempting to keep their temper. We borrowed a steam launch. We'd found a map and wanted to see what we could find. We're pirates, says the youngest, her eyes wide with excitement. We're pirate captains like Captain Redbeard. We know all the stories and we're going to be just like him. Oh dear. Well, we can ask about Redbeard. Who is this captain they aspire to? Do they really admire pirate? They've told you about Redbeard, but how about themselves? What about an introduction? The youngest child squirms where she sits. I'm Captain Red Rat because I'm the cleverest and the fastest. This is Captain Red Hawk, he points to the tallest of the three. And this is Captain Red Cat. I chose his name for him. He couldn't think of one. The middle child looks sheepish. We're all captains because... Captain Hawk interjects. Because it's fair. From his expression, this may have been a solution arrived at after a long quarrel. Rat considers you for a moment. You need a pirate name. But you can't use Red because that's saved for really scary pirates like Captain Redbeard. You can be... He takes a deep breath and recites suggestions. Which do you like best? Oh god, it's the Blind Bruiser. Well, it's not the Blind Bruiser, it just kind of looks like him, I guess. Oh wow, we have a lot of choices here. Oh wow. We can have Scarlet. It's red, but it's not red, you see. Rat nods encouragingly. Rusty. Don't worry, it's still a good colour, though a bit browny. Or orange, says Rat. Crimson. Rat looks briefly wistful. I wanted to be the Crimson Rat at first, but then I realised we all have to be red. Ruby? You'd like to be the jewel in a Redbeard's hoard. Rat's eyes gleam as bright as any gem. Claret? Apparently, Rat turns, accusing eyes on her elder brother. This is the colour as well as a drink. I don't know if that's true. Cerise? Someone thinks this is a shade of green. They're wrong. It's red-pink. Rat looks insufferably smug. Cat is studying the ground. Cerise, that's like a... Yeah, a really vivid pink if I remember correctly. Carmine? I think it sounds posh, says Rat. Don't worry. You could be a posh pirate. Vermilion? Rat stumbles when she tries to pronounce it. It's a colour like red anyway, so a good colour. Fire? Rat grins. This would show that you're very fierce and powerful, like Redbeard. Or blood. If you want to be scary, this could be good. Rat looks very earnest. Now, I am drawn towards Carmine because it says, don't worry, you can be a posh pirate. I'm not going to lie. From what I remember though, Carmine is like a really dark red and it's made from bugs. But let's pick with that one. Why not? What's the worst that could happen? Oh dear. That's a start, but you'll need a second part. What? Let me think. Rat scowls. Don't worry, she's not in pain, or catches your eye. That's her thinking face. Alright, I've got several suggestions. Rat barely pauses for breath. Beard, you'll be Carmine Beard. Barnacle, you'll be Carmine Barnacle. I don't think I need to read the second bit here. Rogue, Rackham, Hook, Silver, Blade, Killer, Hand, or Storm. Ooh, these are all good. I like Carmine Silver. I don't know why. I think I'm going to go with Silver. I don't know if this has any importance into the story whatsoever, but I'm rolling with it. Welcome to our crew, Carmine Silver. Orc stands up and shakes your hand. Just Carmine Silver, not Captain. The three children huddle together, talking in urgent whispers. When they break away, it is the middle child, Cat, who addresses you. We've had a vote, and you can be Captain too. Welcome, Captain! Wonderful. Rat looks up at you. You like your name? It's important that you like it, as it'll be forever tied to your mighty deeds. It's the name you'll be known by in all the stories. Orc laughs. It's alright if you don't. I took ages choosing mine. You can pick again. You won't be offended. No, we will stick with Carmine Silver. Rat begins a monologue about how she chose the perfect name for you, and how, without her, you'd be stuck forever. While she extols her own virtues, Orc shifts closer to you. Thank you for playing along. Some adults don't, and he shrugs. There's no harm in it, is there? It's just a name. We gained one children's affection. Hey, it's finally time for us to partake in a picnic. Please, have a biscuit. The eldest child pulls a face. They're fungal crackers. Dry as crackers. I wonder why. Our father made us these sandwiches before he went to work. But we found the biscuits ourselves. The middle child sits up proudly. That is, I found them. I do most of the cooking, so I knew where to look. He abruptly looks dejected. I didn't know they were savoury, and our father likes them. The eldest child grins at you. But if you wash it down with gin rum, you can barely taste them. So we won't starve. The children aren't wrong. The crackers are dry and unmistakably fungal. It's like eating a book. The ginger beer, at least, makes it possible to swallow. Okay, well, let's explore the island. Perhaps you'll find some way to signal for rescue. The island is about the size of a large dining room and oddly symmetrical, circular, rising upwards sharply in the centre. It is bare. There's not a mote of vegetation, nothing with which to craft a fire. Close examination reveals that the island is made from coral, not stone, and is slightly warm to the touch. It does not take long to cover the whole ground. There is nothing here but you, the children, and, on the far side from their picnic, a steam launch, a little steam-powered boat, suitable for use on the river or pottering about on the docks. Definitely not designed for use at sea, and only large enough to carry a couple of adults. This is not the ideal place to be stranded. A quake. The ground jolts, almost knocking you to the ground. Captain Red Cat is on all fours on the ground. He stares at his hands with increasing panic. It's wobbling. You touch the coral. It is vibrating, like a train engine warming up. Water sloshes up from the Z, washing away the remains of the picnic. Rat yelps and falls over. The island's sinking. She's not wrong. Flee. You'll all have to bundle into the steam launch. However inappropriate a vessel for Z-faring, it's the only one you've got. You dash towards the steam launch, leaping in. There is no time to untie it. The children had only pulled it a little way onto shore. The others follow behind, arriving in a pell-mell cluster of complaints and elbows. The steam launch rocks precariously. You can't immediately get up. The boat lurches suddenly, slammed by surging water as the island sinks entirely. It takes all your skill and some luck to ensure you're not overturned. Captain Redhawk is the first to recover. Are we all in? Annie? Tommy? Those are not our names! Rat is incensed. But perhaps her oldest brother's mistake was a useful one. She's too annoyed to be scared. Yeah, so we know that two of the names are Annie and Tommy. The island is gone, but its sudden descent has made the water rough. Once the swell has died down, you must balance the boat. Cat and Rat elect to sit on one side opposite Hawk, the eldest child. The youngest, Rat, is inclined to give orders, but she has a habit of glancing to Hawk when she does. Rat has allocated you the task of steering, but only because you have to sit in the middle. Cat, the middle child, watches you quietly for a long moment. Suppose this means you're helping us with the treasure hunt then? Treasure hunt? What have you got roped into? And surely there are more pressing concerns. Cat leans forward. The boat rocks. Captain Redhawk found this treasure map in the bottom of our father's desk. That's why we came out here. He looks apologetically at his brother. But I don't really care about that. I'm a scientist. I want to see a Z creature. And I want to see a mermaid, says Rat, also rocking the boat. Like in the stories, people call them drownies, but I know they're really mermaids. Cat continues. So, you can help us. Find the treasure, see a monster, see a mermaid, and then we can go home. The children's faith in both you and the craft seems unassailable. Perhaps for the best. It'll be hard enough navigating without panicking children. You need to get back to London, or to a larger ship. Perhaps en route the children might get their wishes granted. So we're trapped at Z on a tiny boat with 3 children for companions. And draw. Calmed, the wind blows, the iceberg, perilously close to the snares. Oh dear, we really are at Z. Do we check in on the children? Considering their age, they've been remarkably sanguine about the whole adventure. Alright, let's speak with Hawk. I love the fact they have pictures. Hawk moves close, speaks so that Cat can't hear. I don't think we'll find any Z creatures beyond fish, and we've nothing to catch them. They've got to be rare, right? Or people wouldn't be so impressed by them. But I'm not going to tell him, not while his hopes are up. When you ask about the treasure, Hawk speaks confidently, in the manner of one used to talking with adults. Honestly, I thought we'd be back home by now. But now we've made all this effort to come out, we should at least look for the treasure. He blushes. I mean, I don't care if we don't find it, but it would be nice. Anyway, it's about Rat, isn't it? He changes the subject clumsily. I'll try to keep her happy, and she wanted so much to play pirates, so I figured we'd do it properly. Okay, well, let's speak with Cat. That is, if you can stop one of his siblings speaking for him. He seems a little too used to being skipped over. At first, the boy looks at his feet while he speaks, unwilling to make eye contact. But as he warms to his subject, he forgets to be shy. I'm on this expedition to record our findings. I'll find a Z creature, and then, when we're back home, I'm going to present everything we've learned to the university. I'm going to give a big lecture, and they'll make me a professor. He laughs. Alright, that bit probably won't happen, not immediately, but one day. He shrugs his shoulders, happy to move on from the Z creature. I hope we get Hawk's treasure. When he found the map, he was in a funny mood. I don't know what he expects, but I think it really matters to him. He glances at his sister. Still, he can't think about it too much. He's always having to chase after Rat. She doesn't mean to be trouble, it just happens to her. Can't imagine what will happen when she finds her mermaids. Hope she doesn't ask to join them. Well, let's speak with Rat. She's far too young to be out here, but at least that means she has no real understanding of morality or the danger she's in. Rat beams at you. Did you know my brother is going to be a famous scientist? He's going to discover everything, and they're going to put statues of him all over London. That's why he came out here. Well, partly, so we can tame a monster and take it back and show how clever he is. She squirms in her seat. You think we'll find Hawk's treasure? I was certain we were at first, but we've been out here for ages and not seen it. If we go and it's a pile of gold, Hawk can be a king, a pirate king. She grimaces in a manner she clearly considers piratical. Anyway, I'm not going home till we see a mermaid. What's the point otherwise? You want to hear me sing? She takes a deep breath, only to release it to speak again. Someone said I shouldn't sing where anyone can hear me, but they don't understand music. She makes a point of not looking at either of her brothers. Well, let's pull some cards. I mean, becalmed is incredibly bad, but let's see what happens. Are we moving? Hawk has been staring at the back of our little boat for several minutes. There's no wash. It's true. You are not moving. Where the Z is normally choppy and rough, it is still as glass. You can see the false stars above you, clear as gazing into a mirror. This could be a good thing. Your boat is not designed for waves. You can't risk being stuck here if you're to get to safety. And if the Z resembles a mirror, well, mirrors are never safe in the Neath. So we can either distract the children, it's best they don't lean over the edge staring at their own reflections, because who knows what'll grab them, or secure the children, ask them what they see. The mooring rope is long enough to run through their belts. If you hold the ends tightly, they can lean over in relative safety. Sure, why not? Let's tie them to the boat. No, that's a bad idea. If one of them goes over and they take the boat, then they'll take me as well. Let's distract the children. Can we do magic tricks? That should work, right? You start with questions about their home. We share a bedroom. Rat snores. I do not. About their family? Father works all the time. He's always busy. Hawk looks after us. No, I don't. About their favourite pastimes. We love stories, especially ones about Red Jeremy. They're the only good ones. We're going to be pirates when we grow up. I'm a pirate now. They turn their attention on you. Have you ever died? No. Have you ever killed anyone? Cat wants paper to record your answer. You like children? Do you like us? Fortunately, they don't wait for an answer. It is an age before the interrogation dies down. The comforting, threatening waves have returned to bounce your ship. Okay, so we've gained troubled waters. Not a good thing. Roar again. Creaking from above. Oh no, a stalagmite. Stalagmite? Stalagmite or stalactite? I always get those two confused. It's going to fall from the ceiling, isn't it? Cool! Look at that! Captain Red Hawk has been leaning backwards, staring at the roof, nearly dipping his head in the sea. He points upwards. Look! The dim lights in the stretch of cavern roof above blink out and return. The pattern is hypnotic. Oh, says Rat. That's so pretty. It reminds me of Matilda's eyes in the stories. They were like stars. Pretty it may be, but what's that noise? The creaking and whistling from above presage a fall of glim. In a boat this size, it could be deadly. Well, Duck, take cover. The steam launch has a small canopy, but little serious shelter. If you steer away from the sound, perhaps you'll survive ungouged. There is a small tarpaulin underneath the bench seats on the steam launch. It won't protect you if any large shard falls from the roof, but it should hold off injury from the smaller pieces. Peeking out, you can see the purple haze that marks a glimfall. A diaphanous lavender curtain over the black waters. Quite beautiful, unless you're directly under it, which, presently, you are. It hisses into the water around you, huge chunks that could easily shear off a child's arm. The fall stops as abruptly as it began. Mercifully, only small pieces landed in the launch. Very lucky indeed. Can we get one that seems to, be nice, maybe? Ah, the wind blows. That may be nice, even though we don't have a sail. A howl across the waters. A breeze, moaning as it skims the crests of the waves, flicking salt water into your face. Is it the wind? It sounds like voices. The voices? Near Prolothreme? You can't have travelled that far from London. Could you? The children look at you, anxiously. Rat covers her ears and shouts at you. I don't understand what they're saying. Why are they screaming? What do they want? We can listen to the voices, take advantage of the children's quiet. You'll be lucky if you can learn anything, but it's always worth a try. Or we can reassure the children. Perhaps a logical explanation will help the children forget their fears. Let's listen to the voices. The voices moan and wail about love and loss and jealousy and forgiveness and... Can you hear words too? Rat has come out of hiding. Is it ghosts? There's no such thing as ghosts, says Captain Hawk. But if it's not ghosts, what is it then? Rat's stubbornness overrides her fear. Captain Red Cat, you know stuff like this. The boy pulls a face of serious thought. You know when you blow over the top of a bottle and it hoots? It's like that. But someone really big blowing over a really weird shaped bottle. Apparently that thought is somehow comforting. We've got an empty bottle. Hawk has perked up. Anything you could have learned from the voices is drowned out as the children take turns hooting. This is my idea of hell. Well, let's see if there's anything else here. Wind blows, creaking from above. Okay, we've done that one before. The iceberg. Is there anything new in here? Just going to quickly check. No, that's all the same. Go to the iceberg. Captain Red Cat is trying to get your monkey to teach him a trick when the creature starts hooting and shrieking. You have a monkey? My monkey? Where did I get a monkey from? Oh dear. The monkey leaps onto the boy's shoulder and points off to starboard. An iceberg. A giant, jagged, floating mass floats by. Slate blue. Luckily, you've seen it in plenty of time. As you watch, cracks spread along one side of the blue mountain, and house-sized chunks wrench off and fall into the undersea. Let's steer away. Ice doesn't need to fall on you to wreck the steam launch. The waves it creates will do just fine. Before you can even lay your hand on the tiller, the steam launch jerks and turns. Has a slab of ice knocked the rudder? A lucky mishap if so. It has moved the boat away from the vast berg and turned it so that it is travelling with the waves. You're on the safest course. You turn to the children. Hawk is wrestling with Rat. She wants to lick a piece of ice. He has chosen to sit on her till she is distracted by another idea. Cat pats your monkey's paw gently. Your monkey saved us. He's such a good boy. Suddenly, Cat looks aghast. Is it a boy? The child stares intently at the monkey's face, as if trying to discover the answer that way. It's for the best that he isn't considering the traditional zoological method. And here's the last one we haven't done. Perilously close to the snares. Jagged, pointed stalagmites. Stalagmites go up. Stalactites go down. Answered my own question there. Jagged, pointed stalagmites rise from the seafloor. Some pierce the water. Many more sit just beneath the surface, waiting to carve a gash in the keel of a careless vessel. A larger ship might survive such an injury. The tiny launch you're in would flounder in moments. If you move very slowly and have one of the smaller children sitting up front as a lookout, you might make it through in one piece. Wait. I have two options. Slow and steady does it. This must be the only place in the Z where it is an advantage that your boat is too small to have a deep keel. Or we can release a navigator. It seems Rat has been rummaging in your pockets. We could use this. She holds up a goldfish, damply flapping in her cupped hands. How did you keep it alive anyway? That is a question I have never thought of. Okay, well, let's release the cheery, cheerful goldfish, because why not? Be free, little friend. There is a soft plop as the fish flops into the water. It floats there, stunned, for a brief moment before wiggling its way deeper. Cat climbs to the prow of the ship, trying to keep an eye on it. The goldfish might not be guiding you, but a convenient side effect of Cat's running commentary, it's behind that rock on the left, is some indication of the obstacles you must avoid. Perhaps it's coincidence, perhaps the fish was in some way helping, but you creep your way into clearer water. Why then does Cat look so forlorn when he turns back to you? Something moved under the boat, and then your fish disappeared. I think he got it. Oh well. Poor little guy. He didn't quite make it. Oh dear. We have two options. A huge, terrible beast of the undersea, or Treasure Island. I kind of want to do Treasure Island, but I am running out of time in this episode. Let's go to Treasure Island and see what happens. Captain, look! Cat tugs his brother's sleeve. Check the map. I'm certain it's that island. Hawk had been staring out across the dark sea ahead, lost in thought. Abruptly, he grabs the map and leaps to his feet, setting the boat rocking. It's got the little inlet and then a spiky bit. Captain Carmine Silver, please can you steer the boat in? The island is a lichen-covered rock, damp and slimy. One of its sides slips down into the sea, forming a sandy cove. It's just large enough to tuck your boat into. The children leap ashore and proceed to launch into a squabble over the map. Hey, if anyone's finding treasure, I'm getting involved. I'm not leaving the children here. I'm not leaving them on their own. This is my treasure. You join the children in their huddle on the little beach. Hawk holds up the map so that you can all see. The island is drawn several times, sideways on and from two perspectives, in order to more easily identify it from the Z, you presume. And then there is a more familiar cartographical impression, top down, with a big red X in the middle. So, if that wiggle is the cove where you are now, you explain to the children that the X is almost exactly opposite. You've barely finished the sentence before they sprint off. Best join them. You arrive on the other side of the island to find the three standing around a tunnel under a rock outcropping. Cat is peering inside. Hawk has a hand on Cat's collar, holding him back. Hawk's face is pale. He keeps licking his lips, as if preparing to say something. But it is Cat who speaks first. "You wanted to find treasure, Hawk? Here it is. It's only fair if you go first." "No." Hawk looks away, shakes his head. I can't go in. It's too small. I won't be able to breathe." Cat looks up at him. "That's silly. Even Carmine Silver could fit. Want me to go?" "But it was what you came here for." Hawk turns to you. "Could you get it? I just don't want to lose sight of Cat. I'll get in trouble." "Into the tunnel. So long as it doesn't narrow, you'll almost certainly be fine." The width of the tunnel is less of a problem than its path. At one point, where the tunnel kinks upwards, you are forced to roll over to fold your body around a bend. But you have only been squirming a few minutes when you emerge into a damp cave. At the back, tucked away in a natural opening, is a small wooden chest, about the size of a shoebox. There is nothing else. Either this chest is what the map led to, or everything else has already been taken. By the time you've wriggled your way out, Rat is dancing with impatience. "Go on, what is it? Show us." Cat pokes eagerly at the chest, but it's locked shut, and there's no obvious keyhole. "Back to the boat then." Hawk shrugs, clearly embarrassed at having displayed fear. The small box sits neatly at the prow of the launch. You are soon back on the water. A salt-stained wooden box found where X marked the spot. And here I will leave this episode, where we're going to be stranded in the middle of the sea till next week, apparently. And hopefully we'll find the monster and the mermaids next time. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little story. I'm enjoying it a lot. I like the Z. I like the fact that kids have distinctly different personalities. I think it's very interesting. But yeah, please like, subscribe, let me know what you think. Your comments are greatly appreciated. And as always, I'll see you next time.